Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Ocho, what a game it was in Motor City. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills go on the road and beat a team that had won 11 straight games in Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions 48-42. The team, the highest scoring game this year. The team combined for 90 points, 1,080 total yards, 12 total touchdowns. Josh Allen was sensational again. 430 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 in the air, 2 on the ground. Jared Goff was equally as impressive, but not nearly enough. He had 507 total yards and 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Remember, Ocho, it's funny how the NFL works. You remember that game? He had 5 interceptions and they won. He had 5 touchdowns, no turnovers, and they lose. That's just the way it goes. Buffalo raced out to a 14-0 lead on Josh two Josh Allen TD runs, and they never looked back. Buffalo, they good, Ocho. The only thing that I question is Dan Campbell calling an onside kick with 12 minutes left in the ball game. You're having a hard time stopping them. I'm not giving them a short field. The last thing I'm going to do is give them a short field, Ocho. They give them the short, and you had the momentum. Now you give them a short field, and now they go up. They go up by another score, and you're fighting an uphill battle. But 48-42, I had some concerns about Detroit and that defense, and it's starting to show its head a little bit, Ocho. Now, look, Josh Allen's not an easy guy to sack. He's not an easy guy. Getting to him is the easy part. Getting his big ass on the ground is the tough part.
He's like a more athletic Ben Roethlisberger.
Absolutely. Absolutely he is. But this was a very – if you wanted points, here it was, 48-42. And remember, they lost the game last week, 44-42. So they scored 90 points in the last 2 weeks. Good. Love that. Bad. Ocho, we gave up 86.
Yeah,
though.
Most definitely. But listen, from a fan's perspective, they enjoyed this game. If you're a Buffalo fan, if you're a Lions fan, this is a game that you look forward to having. Even if you want to lose it in, maybe not so. But the fact that you know you can put up these kind of points against good teams says now we need to work on the other half. You goddamn defense. 40 point. Hey, Unc, they put up 90-some point. What, 80-something together?
They gave you talk about Buffalo. Buffalo scored 42 last week. They scored 42 this week. They gave up 44 last week to the Rams. They gave up 42. Now, both times they were on the road. Now, I mean, you're on the road and say that. But you're gonna have to play a little better because it doesn't look like unless something happens with Kansas City, it's gonna be tough for you to overtake them because they're 2 games clear of you.
Hey, Unc. If for some reason I just had this feeling it's the Bills' year. It's the Bills' year. Josh Allen is playing very, very well. Very well. And if he happens to see the Chiefs again in the playoffs at some point, at any point, I think this is the year that they finally beat them. Josh Allen is playing out of this world. He's playing out of his mind. Again, I early in the season, obviously I had Lamar Jackson as my MVP, but as of the past, maybe three, maybe 4 weeks, Josh Allen put that cape on, man. He was Clark Kent at the beginning of the season. Now he's Superman. He's playing just like Superman, and what they're doing offensively with no superstars. There are no bona fide superstars over there in Buffalo. You have very good, adequate role players that are doing their job very, very well.
They run the football really well. 34 rushes, 197 yards, 14 rushes, 105, 2 touchdowns for James Cook, 11 carries for 66 yards, 2 touchdowns for Josh Allen. And I think that's the thing that when the voters look at it, say, hold on. He lost Stephon Diggs, who's a Pro Bowl player. He lost Gabe Davis, who's a very good receiver. You look at what they lost defense, both of their safety, Travarius White, and he's doing this. The only difference I see with Josh Allen this year and the previous years, he's not turning it over.
No.
That's the biggest difference. He's been this. Y'all guys, he's been averaging putting up 350 and 400 yards of total offense. But he gets himself into trouble when he turns the ball over. When they're going in to score and he throws an interception in the end zone and it's a touchback. He fumbles in the red zone when they're going to get points. That is the biggest difference in which I see with this team. Plus, those guys aren't in his ear. Now, they scored 48 points. And if I'm looking at this, if my thing shows me correctly, I don't see Cooper with a target. Amari Cooper didn't get a target. And they dropped 48. Now, if somebody else didn't get a target last year, we know what's going to be transpiring. So now he's the unquestioned leader of the entirety of the team. It's peace. Look at the way he's playing, Ocho. He doesn't force look, now he did force one. He's rolling out of bounds, Ocho, and he throw back to the middle of the field, and he almost got it picked. I'm saying, Josh, why? Why?
He gonna beat him a little bit. Every so often he gonna beat him.
He is. And so they look. Your defense is gonna, if you get the Buffalo Bills, your defense best be on their best behavior. Because that's not an anomaly. Now, I'm not saying 48, but if you go back and look at it, they've got 8 straight games with at least 30. They're probably averaging 30 a game. I think it's them. I think they're nip and tuck right there with Baltimore, but they might have overtaken Baltimore, the highest scoring team in the NFL. Are they 1 or are they 2? Because I know Baltimore, Detroit, and them, they were right there. But I think after these last 2 games, I think Buffalo's overtaking them. But hey, boy, you're gonna have your hands full because this team offensively, and they got like Ocho. It's just like, you got Shakir doing his thing that he's so hard to get on. I mean, Josh is just so hard to get on the ground. And then you got to worry about his legs because now, Ocho, I can't really rush like I want to because if I run past him, he's gonna jump out the window. If I let him get outside of the pocket, he can throw on the move and he still can go get me a first down, even if it's 3rd and 15. So it's so hard to defend him. You just hope that he makes some mistakes, he gets anxious, and he turns the ball over. But if he's calm, like he's been playing like the last 3 to 4 weeks, boy, you got your hands full.
Listen, you got to be disciplined on defense. If anything, especially with knowing that he's a dual threat, you got to tell your D ends and bring your ass upfield and keep contained.
Level off.
Yeah, and keep contained and level your ass off. Now, if you have to have a spy, because he's the dual threat quarterback, you got to have a spy. Tell your staff, you got to keep your discipline. Keep your discipline. Hey, if he runs, just make sure you bring him down. You got to make the tackle, especially in man-to-man, because everybody back is turned. Everybody back is turned, and you is our last savior.
Yep. And like the end, when you get like, okay, you see where he is. He's back there in the pocket. He's about 7 to 8 yards. Once you get that point, now you got to level off. Don't you run your ass by him trying to. No. Don't do that. Because all he's going to do is he's going to step out the window on you. And like you said, when you got your back turned, now good luck with that. But he's playing extremely well. The guys are making plays for him. Coleman came back today, had a big catch. Kincaid is finally back. He's making catches. Shakira is his safety blanket. James Cook, catching out of the backfield. They're really good. They're a really good football team. They're playing extremely well right now. Is there a team in the AFC that has the possible weapons that what Detroit had or the Rams have? Because I haven't seen it consistently. We know the Ravens give or take
those kind of weapons. No.
Yeah. Lions are first in points scored, second in total offense. Bills are second in points scored, 8th in total offense.
That's crazy.
They keep playing like this, they're gonna be first in total. They're gonna be first in points scored.
Yeah.
Be first in points scored. But they have a team that's really good. Like I said, I didn't agree with Dan Campbell with 12 minutes left in the game. Ocho kicking an onside kick. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
And listen,
I don't agree with that.
That's been Dan. He's always been who he is. Listen, he has some big cojones, and he wears them. Matter of fact, he walks on the sideline with a wheelbarrow with his nuts in the wheelbarrow, and that's how he coaches. That's how he plays. He goes for it on fourth down. He goes for it. He does onside kicks, and his players believe in him. He believes in his players, and I think that's why he makes some of the calls that he makes. That most players and analysts and pundits like yourself just wouldn't agree with based on the situation.
Joe Brady not calling the shots. The Bills are firing on all cylinders. Ken Dorsey, if I'm not mistaken, he's calling the plays in Cleveland now, isn't he? Isn't he in Cleveland? But I feel bad for him because Jameis is a turnover machine. Ocho, check this out. The Lions and the Chiefs are 25-1 against the rest of the league. They're 0-2 against the Bills. The Lions never led. The Chiefs' biggest lead was 1, and they trailed the entire second half.
Yeah.
Hey, look like they're headed.
Once the Bills jumped out, Unc. Once the Bills jumped out, boy, it's an uphill battle from there. It's an uphill battle from there. Tonight, once the Packers jumped out on the Seahawks, it's an uphill battle. Put yourself behind the 8 ball. It makes it that much more difficult to beat a good team. This is a good team with a great offense. It's difficult.
Yeah, you're right, Ocho. I think the thing is, for me, the question I wanted to ask you is that, do you believe of the team that, look, Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, there are certain teams, Pittsburgh, there are certain teams that we have a good indication that they're going to make the playoffs. Are the Bills the scariest team?
You know what? I think so. I think so. Now, when you say are the Bills the scariest team, are you speaking AFC or NFC?
I'll let you combine them all. If you had to say, if you had to put some amount of money that mattered to you, who would you put your money on?
Right now, you know what?
Yeah,
I probably put it on the Bills. And that's because of the quarterback situation. Now, I also look at the Lions as being very scary as well. But Goff doesn't scare me. Goff doesn't scare me. The players around him scare me. Montgomery scares me. Gibbs, Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they scare me. But something about that goddamn Josh Allen and his supporting cast fits him so well in what they do. Man, that shit is scary. So if I had any amount of money going into the playoffs and had to bet on somebody to win a game, it'd be them goddamn Bills, especially right now with the way they playing.
Yeah, and the thing with Detroit is that, Ocho, if you look, they have 15 rushes for 46 yards. They threw the ball 59 times. You see how unbalanced they are? When they win games, they're a very balanced team. They don't get that lopsided. I mean, they threw the ball, that's a 25, that basically it's 15, so it's 4. That's 25, so 60, 75% of the time.
But you know why? They were behind the 8 ball. Once you fall behind like that in the beginning of the game, you down 14. Okay, boom. Now I'm panicking. I got to find ways to get back into the game. And what's the one way to get back into the game very fast? Boom, you got to let that bitch rip.
Yeah, but what happens when you go 3 and out or you don't convert? Now you let that high-powered offense
back on the
get
field,
right back on the
field. And your defense already tired.
Yep. But the Bills look really good. Josh Allen, look, he must have watched Lamar and said, man, look here. Lamar did what he did against the Giants. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. But he said, hold up. Let me put something on y'all mind. I know y'all saw that, but I want to put something on your mind right quick. Ocho, the defense injuries are finally catching up. Think about it. Aiden Hutchinson is out. Ayla McNeil, Carlton Davis, Alex Alzoni, Derek Barnes, Martin, Dorsey, Rake Straw Jr., Mosley. Ocho, at some point in time, think about it. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 guys. Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, all of them aren't starters. Let's just say for the sake of argument, you try to play 18 guys. Well, 10 of them have been injured. Hutchinson is a starter. Davis is a starter. McNeil. Alex Azzoni, he's a starter. Those guys are starters.
Listen, we talk about winning. We talk about playoff football. We talk about getting to the Super Bowl. People think it's all about playing good. The most important thing is health. The most important thing
Yep.
is health in your roster. Seeing how many people on the back end of the season headed into the playoffs are healthy. Everybody gonna be hurt. Everybody gonna be hurt. We talk about healthy
Yes.
and able to actually play the game. So this is tough for them, and we'll see if they're able to overcome some of the injuries that they do have at key positions. I hope Carlton is okay. Some of the mid-level players are hurt right now. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson is out, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
It
tough,
is.
and you can say next man up, but the next man is the next man for a reason. So sometimes telling the next man to step up ain't really giving what it should be given, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Sometimes, Ocho, the next man is the man that was after the next man that was up. So he was the next man. He was the man that was next to the man. So that's your problem right there.
Hey.
Tyron Johnson said Lions players were putting fingers where they're not supposed to be on the onside kick scrum.
Wait, whoa. Wait, bring that to me again now.
Tyron Johnson said Lions players were putting their fingers where they're not supposed to be on the onside kick scrum.
Okay. I need a little bit more context to that, you know.
You don't need no context. What you putting your finger in on the onside? Where you putting it?
Poking somebody in the eye?
Nah, you ain't poking nobody in the eye.
Yeah, that's a new one for me, Unc, man. I ain't never been on the onside.
Yeah. You know what going on them? You know what going on that pile? They try to get that ball. Ain't nobody poking no eye.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, they be digging in the eye, all right, but not that one.
Hey, one thing about it, boy, they do anything under that pile, boy. They don't play.
Yeah.
They get that ball? Oh.
Yeah.
I got to have that.
I mean, if you a one-eyed baby, that's the eye they talking about. But I don't think that. I'm just saying, Ocho. If that.
Hey, boy, they don't play, boy.
Nah. I need the ball. I'm gonna do anything. Hey, man, they'll grab anything. Hey, guys be screaming, "Hey, man, ref, he got my private." That ain't what they don't say private. Like, man, well, let go the ball then.
Ref can't see that. Ref can't see that.
He's like, hey, if you let go the ball, they gonna let go in. Hey, we need the ball. That's the most valuable thing right now. Hey, you don't know who it is. The Packers defeat the Seahawks 30-13. The Seahawks 4-game winning streak came to an end. Green Bay had 369 total yards. Seattle had 208 total yards. Rushing yards was 140 for the Packers, 80 for the Seahawks. Passing stats, Jordan Love was 20 of 27, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Geno was 15 of 19 for 149, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He got nicked, and Sam Howell came in and filled in for him. Don't know the severity of the injury. Looked like it was an ankle injury or lower leg injury, so we'll wait for the evaluation before we can give you a conclusive on what transpired with Geno. So hopefully he missed the remaining of this game and it was nothing serious and he'll be able to come back and play next week. Ocho, when you watch the Green Bay Packers, I think because the Lions were playing so well that people kind of overlook Green Bay and Minnesota. If I'm not mistaken, I think Minnesota is like 11-2 with a chance to go to 12-2 tomorrow. People kind of overlook Green Bay, but Green Bay is because remember, I think it was Minnesota had to take a last-second field goal, if I'm not mistaken, to beat them, kick a last-second field goal. Maybe it was Detroit. Maybe it was Detroit that kicked that last-second field goal in Detroit, in Minnesota to beat them. But Green Bay got a good team. They can run the football with Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love, 20 of 27 tonight, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns. Defense is really good. And Jair hadn't played. I don't know if it was Jair in.
Jair didn't even play. You know, they had
he's been nicked for a while.
Covington was in there.
But they're a good team. What do you like about what you saw from Green Bay and what you've seen thus far from the Packers?
From the Packers, Jordan Love has been phenomenal all season. And the funny thing about Jordan Love being phenomenal all season is this game against the Seahawks, they didn't even have to throw the ball. Josh Jacobs in that front line dominated the game from start to finish. I'm not sure what the Seahawks were doing defensively, but for some reason they kept staying in that two shell all night long, and they continued to give the ball to Josh Jacobs over and over, and we getting 4 a pop, 7 a pop, 8 a pop, and they refused to come up. They refused to come out of it, that two shell, until late in the third quarter when it was goddamn too late now at that point.
Right.
And they started gaining a little ground when the momentum shifted, in the Seahawks' favor a little bit, obviously. But by that time, it was too late. It honestly, just to be honest with you, it was a shitty game. It was a boring game. It was a boring game. Geno didn't play fairly well. Once Sam Howell came into the game, you know how the offense,
It was over.
the offensive playbook changes tremendously. There's only so much he can do. He throws the interception. I mean, he got sacked twice, maybe 3 times, something like that. Listen, it was a good look for the Packers. The fact that they were able to play one-dimensional football, running the ball the entirety of the night. Romeo Doubs had 3 catches, 2 of them for touchdowns. Outside of that, it wasn't a huge day in the air, but on the ground, Josh Jacobs did his thing.
Well, that's what you need to have happen. A team jumps into that two shell. You need to have your running game be able to run them out of it. You should not allow someone to try to stop your running game with a light box, which is a 7-man box. They must drop that 8th guy down, and now you play. Now you throw. You pitch and catch outside with the single high safety in the hole. But I thought Green Bay did what they needed to do. I mean, you see the numbers: 20 of 27. So the ball really was never in harm's way, and that should have been higher because he missed some throws. He had Romeo Doubs on over out.
Christian Watson
threw it behind him
on the deep ball. He underthrew every ball tonight and got pass interferences.
He underthrew Romeo Doubs and ended up getting a field goal. If he throws it out there, he has Wolin beat. That's a touchdown. So he could have easily been 23 of 27.
Yeah.
Instead of 20-27. But look, we're nitpicking here, Ocho, and I think sometimes we have to nitpick for the simple fact is that when you get to the playoffs, every possession matters. Every play matters. And underthrow here or misfire there could be the difference in winning and losing a ball game. And so those are the things that you want to try to clean up heading into the playoffs, because Green Bay is going to be in the playoffs. I think 3 teams out of that division is going to be in the playoffs. Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay. That's 3 teams. So that means only one other team is going to make it. Only one of the wild card teams is going to make it, Ocho, because you got your 4 division winners, Detroit or Minnesota, because now they're tied. Both have 2 losses. NFC East looks like the Eagles going to win that division. NFC South, Tampa is in control of that division now. We'll see what Atlanta does tomorrow night. And then the NFC West. Now, the NFC West is still wide open because you have Seattle, you have Arizona, you have the Rams right there nip and tuck. So could 2 teams out of that division get in? Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. 2 teams could get in out of that division. But Dallas is lurking. We'll talk about the Cowboys a little later today. They played maybe their best ball game of the year. Defensively, they got after Jordan Love, picked him a couple of times. Cooper Rush did a great job of throwing the ball, and Dowdle did a great job of running the football. But I thought the Packers looked good. They did what they needed to do. You go on the road, Ocho, that's a long way to fly at night. And now you go, and so you a night game, the 12th man. But give Green Bay credit because they came out ready to play. They jumped on them early, 14-0, made them one-dimensional. So now you got to throw the football. And once Geno got nicked, I think most people kind of knew that Sam Howell was not going to come in and move the needle, and he wasn't going to be able to do anything that was going to get Seattle back in the game. Charbonneau had a nice run, a 24-yard touchdown run, but it was, I don't think, he didn't put fear in anybody tonight. So congratulations to the Green Bay Packers. They moved to 10-4 with a 30-13 win over the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are now 8-6, and if I'm not mistaken, they still lead the NFC West with the Cardinals right there along with the Rams. The days are warmer, the walks are longer, and one easy way to help your dog shine this season is with fresh, healthy food from Farmer's Dog. Farmer's Dogs make fresh, real food and delivers it right to your door. Recipes are developed by vet nutritionists, made from real meat and veggies, and proportioned just for your dog, making it easy to say goodbye to burnt brown balls. Feed your dog real food with real benefits. My Pomeranian Teddy loved the stuff, and his coat has never looked better. It's smart, healthy pet food you can feel good about feeding your pup. And it's the best option for your dog of all life stages because it's not kibble, it's not canned goo, it's real healthy food. And it doesn't matter if your dog is young or old, it's always the right time to begin investing in their health. That means more happy, healthy, full years together. Get 50% off the first box of your fresh, healthy food from farmersdog.com/nightcap. Plus, you get free shipping. Just go to farmersdog.com/nightcap to get 50% off. That's farmersdog.com/nightcap.